China has identified a new type of
Hey everybody, how you doing? I just wanted to stop by and do another quarantine review. Last night I got a chance to watch on HBO their new film, Bad Education. And if you're not familiar with the film, it stars Hugh Jackman, Allison Janney, and Ray Romano most prominently. And it's based on a true story that happened out in Long Island in the early 2000s. And it centers on a school district in the town of Roslyn, which is a wealthy area, one of the more wealthier communities out on Long Island. And the film focuses on, basically the main character is Hugh Jackman. He plays this very charismatic superintendent who's very clean cut, you know, immaculately, you know, dressed, suits every day, cologne, hair is perfect, facelifts, all this kind of stuff. He's just this figure that everybody in the community loves. The school district loves him, the parents, the PTA, the board, everybody just loves him. Not only because he's just so charismatic and he's a wonderful, nice guy, but because he's also brought the district up to number 4 in the country in terms of the school districts. And so that very much plays into a lot of the storyline, how they're very focused on getting to number 1. And they have a renovation coming up the next year that they want to get funding for. And then they hope that all through that renovation, they can further elevate themselves in terms of the image of the district nationally. And so Hugh Jackman really does an amazing job playing this guy. It's an understated role. He really brings it to life. You can see there's a lot of complexity to him as the story unfolds. And I just really enjoyed Hugh's performance. I always enjoy Hugh, but this was one of his best, in my opinion. Also in the film is Allison Janney. She plays his vice superintendent, who's really more the business manager of the district. She handles all the financials and all that kind of stuff. And she's very good as well. Her character is key to this kind of plot that is unraveling within this film, which brings us to the third kind of narrative that runs throughout the film. It's a high school girl who writes for the school paper. She's very ambitious, and she's given the assignment of kind of just writing a puff piece about the budget and about the expansion plans that the school has for the following year. But she starts doing some digging into the archives of the school and starts finding a lot of financial irregularities. And so she brings this into almost an investigative article that brings this whole house of cards crumbling down. And so I don't want to get into a lot of what the story's about, but it does involve embezzlement. And like I said, it is a true story. And, you know, these kind of movies are always fascinating because it's amazing that you just see the lengths people will go to, you know, do this criminal scheme. They'll do all these different things, all this effort, all this stuff to get this plot going, you know, to steal or to do these kind of things. And if they just focused all that energy on something more positive, think of what they could get done. Very fascinating, and it's a very, very interesting movie. It's a funny at times. There is some comedy, but more than anything, it is a drama. And I really do recommend it. I really enjoyed watching it. There have been some critics that have compared it to Election, the Alexander Payne film from the late 90s with Matthew Broderick and Reese Witherspoon. And I can definitely see that there's parallels there. So that would kind of be a good bookend with this movie. But overall, I love this film. I was engrossed from beginning to end. As it came to its conclusion, I didn't want it to end. I could have sat for another hour. I was really enjoying this movie, and I really recommend it. So if you have HBO, check out Bad Education. It's a fascinating movie. Hugh Jackman's excellent. Allison Janney is excellent. And I almost forgot to mention Ray Romano is really good in this film as well. He plays the head of the board. And he's this guy that's, for the most part, very loyal to Hugh Jackman's character. And then we see that there's obviously strain in that relationship as the film goes on. And it's really a wonderful little movie. And there is a lot of, you know, a lot of articles about this, obviously about the film coming out and how it is based on a true story. If you want to read the real story of what happened, it's based on a New Yorker article called The Bad Superintendent. I'm going to put the link to that article in the description of the video, and you can always read it there because I thought that was a fascinating addition to watching the film, to get kind of like the background. But overall, the film does stay pretty close to the real events. And incidentally, I thought this was kind of cool. The screenwriter actually attended middle school in that district when all this was going on. So he was a little kid. And so now he's obviously become a screenwriter. And it must have been really cool for him to kind of write this film based on something that he observed from afar. So again, Bad Education, loved it. Great film. Really one of my favorite Hugh performances that I can recall. And I definitely think everybody would enjoy it. And until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe, stay healthy. Take care.